Hey guys, it's John here from Sonic Drive Studio. Thanks for tuning in and welcome to another episode of To Boost or Not to Boost. I recently did another one with my Rev Generator 120 Mark III Revision B, which was a lot of fun, so I figured I'd do another one, but this time with the mighty Prometheus by Lichtlaerm Audio. What a cool amplifier. And by the way, I recently did a full demo and review of this amplifier on the channel as well, where I tried it with a bunch of guitars and a bunch of settings. If you want to check that out, definitely watch my review. And also note that I recently captured this amplifier into a Neural DSP Quad Cortex capture pack that you can also buy in my web store. I'll put a link below. It's an amplifier that you can really dial in to sound any way you like, basically. So you can really tighten it up because of the cut control, add some bite with the bite switch and stuff like that. So today we're going to see if it needs a boost or not, or just simply compare the sound of this amplifier unboosted versus the sound of this amplifier with a boost up front. And I'm not going to make it too easy because this amplifier, as I said, is very flexible. So I'm going to use a guitar that is a little bit harder to get dialed in, so to speak. And that is my Schecter Sunset 7 Triad guitar with the Tripocalypse pickup in the bridge, tuned to drop A flat. So first what I'm going to do is dial this amplifier in without the boost for a nice and tight tone and see how far we can kind of get with the amplifier itself. And then after that, we're also going to try it with a boost up front and stuff. So let's take a listen to that. Check it out. All right, that sounded quite nice. Thick, but definitely tight enough. And I didn't even have the cut control dialed up all the way. I had it set to noon, which is halfway, which leaves the bottom end a little bit more organic and fat, which is what I like usually. And by the way, the amp was fed into my RedSeven Amplification Amp Central reactive load, and then it went into an ML SoundLab IR, the ML Mega OS Almighty IR to be precise, which sounded really good together with this amplifier. And for the drums, as usual, I used ML drums. Now, in terms of the settings, what I had going on, as I said, was the cut control dialed up halfway, and that's a control that you can use to tighten up the tone, tighten up the bottom end. And of course, I was on the lead channel on the modern mode, which has the most amount of gain. The treble was dialed up a little bit to add some clarity, and the bite switch was set to the bottom position, which adds some treble as well as some bitey mid frequencies. And that's basically it. I had the noise gate on the amplifier on as well, by the way. So I thought it sounded pretty good already, even though that guitar with the Tripocalypse pickup sounds really big and quite loud and thick. It's not the most bright and thin sounding pickup there is, but I thought the amplifier itself did pretty darn well. Now we're going to try this amplifier with a boost, and the boost that I'm going to use, again, just as in the previous video, is my favorite boost, and that is the King in Yellow by Lichtlaerm Audio. It's a modded tube screamer with a bunch of options, 4-band EQ and all that good stuff, and it just sounds great, and it's very flexible. So that's what I'm going to use. And on the amplifier, what I'm going to do is what I usually like to do when I use boosts, is dial it in to sound as thick and fat and loose as possible. So the cut control is going to go all the way down. The byte switch will be set to the middle position, which is off, basically. So that's the thickest tone you can get in this amplifier. And then we're going to boost it with a very nice and gnarly sound on this pedal, so you get all the clarity and aggression. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that. Basically a comparison of the previous tone, so the amplifier without the boost, and then with the pedal on, and see what the difference is. Check it out. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, that boosted tone was pretty darn aggressive and tight, and the mid-range had a lot of cut. So I thought that the boosted sound was really awesome, actually. So that works really well for this guitar. Like I said, that pickup is very fat and sort of dark and bassy, and this pedal really helped to make it sound more articulate and clear. So yeah, I think I prefer the boosted tone here with this guitar, even though the amplifier sounded great already without the boost, just a bit more thick and organic, as I like to say. But so far, I wouldn't go so far as to say that this amplifier needs a boost. It's just a different character, if you know what I mean. So what I'd like to do now is just take those riffs and dial the amp and pedal in, so you can also hear how the amplifier sounds on the fat and loose settings without the pedal. Twist the cut control a little bit so you can hear how you can tighten up the tone with that. Try the byte switch and also tweak the pedal itself a little bit. Mess with the 4-band EQ and stuff. Okay, check it out. Cool, so as you could hear, when the amplifier was in the fat setting that I used, it's quite thick and fat and loose. And then with the cut control, you can make it a lot tighter, which is an awesome feature to have on an amplifier. But then when I added the pedal, all that mid-range bark and sort of aggression really was a nice addition to the tone that the amplifier itself couldn't quite replicate. Although when you dial up the cut control a bit more, you can definitely get it to sound pretty darn tight. So it's impressive, you know. But yeah, it's just a different flavor and a different texture, and I enjoyed both. I think in this case, if I had to pick one, I would go with the sound with the pedal on, because it just works really well with that guitar. So I guess that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are. Did you enjoy the amplifier without the boost or with the boost? And also, if I do more episodes of To Boost or Not to Boost, which amplifiers would you like to see in that series? If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, because that would really help the channel out. And also be sure to follow Sonic Drive Studio on Facebook and Instagram, and check out my Ko-Fi web store for the quad cortex captures from this amplifier and other amps as well. All right, guys, that was all. See you soon. Cheers.